Hi, I'm Mallory, and today I wanted to talk about my glasses. I've had my Irlen lenses for over 5 years now, which is hard to believe, but the longer that I have them, the more I want to share my story with them because these glasses literally in every way possible changed my life, and I just want to share my story so other people who are dealing with what I was dealing with can finally get the help that I was lucky enough to get. To this day, people will ask me what my glasses are for, and when I explain how they helped me and what they do to change my everyday life, they just kind of look at me, and sometimes they'll say like, I need glasses like that. I go through everything you just said that you experience. I've never understood why, but maybe those glasses will help me. So just sharing my story to the people who have the guts to stop me on the street and ask about my glasses, I want to share my story with more people. So many people struggle with light sensitivity and they don't even know it. I did not know that was my issue. I didn't know that light sensitivity was even a thing, and I'm so glad that my mom was so proactive as to try and find the source of my issues with my eyesight, and she didn't stop until she found Irlen. And to explain how much Irlen has changed my life as almost a 20-year-old woman, I have to go back about 10 years to when I was around 9, and I really began to notice my own struggle with my eyesight. I was homeschooled my whole life, and I'm very grateful for that because my mom was very patient with me in ways that I don't think a school system would have been able to be. And so my mom was able to identify and pick up on key points of my childhood where she could tell my developing or my learning wasn't happening as quickly as it was with my brothers. And when I was 9 years old, I really began to realize the same thing, that I was not picking up things, or I was not able to read as quickly or as easy as my brothers were. They were able to pick up books and just blow through them, and I would sit and stare at one page of a book for an hour before I was able to flip the page. I knew something was up, but I couldn't identify what it was because everything I was experiencing, I didn't know everyone else didn't. I didn't know that everyone didn't see words jump off of a page or just altogether disappear. I didn't know that my mom didn't see that. I didn't know that my brothers didn't see that. I just thought that I was stupid because I wasn't able to read past it like other people were. So many signs of Irlen can be swept under the rug as just a lazy reader or someone who doesn't learn as quickly as others. You know, a lot of kids will follow under a line on a page just so they don't lose their place. I would have to do that because if I didn't, words would disappear, but if my finger was under them, they couldn't, or they couldn't as easily. So when my mom saw me use my finger to be under a line on a page, she just thought, oh, well, she's trying not to lose her place, when in reality, I was trying to keep the words on the page from disappearing. So I'm going to be linking a video down below that I strongly urge everyone to go watch. It's basically what people with Irlen see. I don't see all of the side effects in that video because Irlen affects people differently, but I do see, I think, 3 or 4 different cases that they show, and they did a really wonderful job at showing exactly what you see with Irlen and how it affects you. So that video is very informative. I love to show people when they ask what Irlen is. I'll just show them that video and say this is what I experienced, or a few of these things are what I experienced, and they almost can't believe it every single time I show them the video. And like I said, I strongly urge you to watch it because if you see one of the things that you're experiencing with, I definitely recommend, if you're noticing in yourself or your child, just to go to Irlen's website or efficientbrain.com and just see if there's anything on that site that's helpful to find out if you yourself may have Irlen. Before my mom brought up the idea of going and getting tested for Irlen lenses, I went to an eye doctor and they discovered that I had an astigmatism. And when I was 12 or 13, I thought, that's it, that's what's wrong with me, that's gonna fix everything. And I remember I talked to my mom about it and I said, this is what's been going on, this is why I haven't been able to read, and this is why I've been struggling with my homework so hard, this is it. And so I was so excited, and mind you, this was before I knew what Irlen was, so I was excited about getting clear lenses just because I thought that the astigmatism was my main issue. And so I started reading this book without my glasses, and it was almost nearly impossible. To read a book with Irlen, it's just, there's no way to explain it, because not only are words disappearing and moving and whatever else is going on, my attention span, because I couldn't focus on the words because they were never still, I would just start thinking about something else while trying to read this book. And so I would read 3 or 4 pages and then finally flip to the next chapter and be like, wait, I retained none of that information. None of that stuck with me. And so when I got my clear lens glasses for my astigmatism, I thought this is gonna fix everything. And for the first week, I think I made myself believe that it did change everything, but I quickly realized it changed nothing. I don't want to say it didn't change anything. I think it made everything a little more stable. Because I had an astigmatism and Irlen syndrome, my vision not only had the symptoms of Irlen, but I could never focus on anything because everything was really blurry as well. And so I think that the lenses for my astigmatism did help with that part, but I was still having issues reading, and I was still having the words disappear on the page and move around a lot. So I was 14 when my mom came home, and she had first heard of Irlen, and she said she wanted me to get tested. And this was about a year after I had found out I had an astigmatism, and I was really let down that the glasses for the astigmatism didn't solve everything. And so when she came home and said that there was another test she wanted me to do, I fought her on it. She sat me down and she said, it's your decision. If you don't want to do this, then that is fine, but I want you to at least try. And I am so grateful and thankful that she got me to do this, because truly my life changed the second I got these glasses. I remember my mom sat me down at her computer and we went to Irlen's website, and the coolest thing that I will still remember to this day is they had this little thing on their site where you could change the color of the site. So it was originally just a white background with black font. You could change the background from white to purple or blue. They just had all these different colors. And I remember my mom said, like, tell me which one you can see better on. And this was before my glasses, so I was just no glasses, looking at a computer and squinting like crazy, because computers were the worst for me. And I remember she clicked on yellow first, and I just remember, like, I threw my head back and I was like, that's worse for me, because the brightness of the yellow against the black wording just, it made everything disappear. And so then she clicked on, I think it was green, and that just, the black lettering kind of blended into the green. And she clicked on blue, and it was normal looking, except everything was just kind of a deep blue color. And then she clicked on purple, and the wording, like, literally jumped forward and, like, looked bold to me. And I remember I looked at it and I was like, ooh, I like that one. And so we went over and looked all around the website, and I kind of was like, okay, fine, you can, like, schedule me an appointment. I will never forget when I was getting tested, the coolest, most, I can't even explain the feeling that ran through me when there were blue lenses over my eyes, and I looked around the room and I looked at the piece of paper in front of me, and all I saw was like a cloudy blue. And then she put pink lenses over my eyes, and it was like everything just kind of defined itself. Everything just looked, for the first time in my life, really, really well defined and bold. That's the best way I can describe it. It's like looking at, like, you know that font that's like super duper thin? It's like looking at that font for your whole life, and then you put on the glasses and that font just becomes bold. Like, that's just the best way I can describe it, is everything became bolder and everything stopped disappearing. So I was diagnosed with Irlen syndrome, and I found out that I needed pink and purple glasses, and I was just kind of on cloud 9. But I was also really, really hesitant, because I was thinking, well, it's going to be just like my astigmatism. I'm going to think that this is going to fix all my problems, and then after a week of wearing the glasses, like, it's going to help. Not at all. And I'm so, so, so happy to say that that train of thought was wrong, because I've had these glasses for 5 years, over 5 years, and they have helped me in the best way that I can't even describe how much they've helped me. Walking down the street is a completely different experience for me than it was before my glasses. Looking at a computer is is one of the biggest differences. I mean, sometimes I'll forget to wear them, like when I first wake up and sit down on my computer, I'll forget to put them on, and I'll like be squinting on my computer and I'm like, what is happening? And I'm like, oh, I'm not wearing my glasses, and I'll put them on, and it's like the saturation is turned up so high, and there's that thin tiny font that I'm supposed to be able to read, and it's just like, what am I looking at? And the second I put my glasses on, it's like the saturation goes down and the font becomes bold again. And I'm like, how does that work? I can see when I'm not wearing them, like that's a purple. Like that's, like I'm looking at myself in the camera, I can see like, oh, I'm wearing purple glasses. But when I look through them, like this, when they're up to my eyes, I don't see purple. This piece of paper is as white to me with and without my glasses on. Like, it's the same color. So like I said, I'm doing this video because I want to help as many people as possible discover if they have Irlen syndrome or not. Not only for you yourself to recognize that maybe you have Irlen, but to also check with your family and friends, and if you have kids, check with them, because as a kid, there's no way to put into words, hey mom, this word is moving, or it's like disappearing, because you don't know that that's not normal. And I am so glad that my mom was so persistent with me about my eyesight to figure out what was wrong, because I would probably, if she hadn't done what she did for me when I was 14, I probably at 20 years old would still be struggling to see the world normally. And so if you have kids and they're having trouble with their eyesight, sometimes a normal eye doctor, they don't know about Irlen. I've gone to many eye doctors to just get my normal exam done because I'm nearsighted as well. So not only do I have Irlen, I have nearsightedness. So I still need to go to a normal eye doctor, and they will ask me all the time. I've been to probably 4 since I've gotten my glasses, and they'll ask me like, oh, why do you put color in your glasses? And I'll explain like, oh, it's Irlen syndrome, and they act interested. They'll say like, oh, I'll have to look that up, and then the next time I come back to them, they're like, why do you put color in your glasses? So a lot of normal eye doctors will either not know what Irlen is, or they won't believe in it, or they won't support it, and that's really unfortunate because Irlen is truly life-changing. Like, any pair of glasses can be life-changing. Irlen, it's so important that you get yourself tested or you get your kids tested. So if you are struggling with your own eyesight, I urge you to go to the websites that I've listed in the description below and just see if they help you, see if you can get tested. And if you have children who have been struggling with being able to read, or just you think something is up with their eyesight and they're, you know, taking them to a normal eye doctor hasn't been very helpful, I strongly encourage you to check out Irlen. I am a different person because of my glasses. I am a more confident person because of my glasses. Because not only am I more confident because I now feel better about myself, and I feel smarter, and I feel like I'm not just a lazy reader, or I'm not just dumb. I feel more confident because when I first got my glasses, I was very insecure about the fact that they were big and purple. A lot of people just think that I'm wearing sunglasses and I'm trying to be cool, and for a long time I was kind of insecure about that, but now it's just like, they help me see, man. Like, I rather see than care what you think, you know, and that's kind of like, I'm more confident because I've had to learn how to be proud of my glasses and be proud of myself for wearing them. Wear your glasses all the time. Like, unless you're showering, wear your glasses. I'm really, really, really bad about not wearing them enough. But I never, ever leave my house without my glasses. I just wanted to do this video to remind you that even if Irlen isn't what can help your eyesight or help you live a better life, you need to evaluate and see, is there something that I'm not doing that I could be doing for myself to better my life? If something's going on with your eyesight and you know it's more than just an astigmatism, or it's more than just nearsightedness, push it. Push it until you find out the core issue, and until you find out a way to fix it or solve it for yourself. Because once you finally get through what's been holding you back for your whole life, it's truly life-changing. I really hope that this video helps you. Even if you find out Irlen isn't your issue, I hope this inspires you to push forward until you find what is your issue and solve it for yourself. So I'm gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video.